What's going on? This is My Life in the Shop. I'm your host, Donald Washington. Now, if you guys remember, I did a story on David E. Taylor. For those of you who don't remember who David E. Taylor is, this is him right here giving his deposition. He's a preacher. Take a look.
Enter.
Oh, this is a place that the ministry owns. Well, not own. We're in the process of buying that. Yeah, we don't own it yet.
Are you renting to buy, or are you?
Yeah, we're leasing to buy.
Jeez, look at that mansion.
You have that as an asset of $2,844,500. So do you own it?
I just answered that, didn't I? I said we didn't own it.
Okay, but where does the? I'm sorry.
We're leasing to buy it. Did you? I thought we just said that.
All right, but you have listed it as an asset worth $2,844,000.
Oh, that should be more of a liability.
All right, so where does the number $2,844,000 come from on your asset and liability?
That's, I guess, the appraisal value of the home or the residential center.
Is it a home?
No, it's a residential center. We use it.
All right, so
let's see.
Teaching and training.
Resort?
Yeah, teaching. A resort where we teach and train.
Jeez, look at that mansion. All right, and this is also him as well right here. So now I got somebody that knows him personally and wants to talk about David E. Taylor. This is My Life in the Shop. What's going on? This is Donald Washington. I'm your host. Now, I got somebody that knows David E. Taylor personally. What's going on, Larry?
Hey, how you doing now?
I'm all right. It's good to have you, bro. Tell me about this preacher, man, because look at Tell me about this guy.
Well, okay, well, first of all, I'll tell you the history, okay?
Right.
David Taylor, he came from Memphis, okay? Right, mid-90s, and he came to St. Louis to do a service that was supposed to last for a 3-day period in St. Louis, in the city.
Okay.
And it turned out to be a movement. So people from all over St. Louis and Missouri started coming, to this, it's like a revival that lasted for a little over a year or better, okay?
Okay.
And, that's how I heard about him,
Okay.
And I remember one of the young ladies that I used to minister to, I used to have Bible classes over my house, and she went to a church where David, was doing a revival, and she invited me there. And then, I met him after the service, and, I came once again. He was still there doing the same revival or what have you. And I talked to him personally, and he said, you should think about joining, And I said, okay, I'll give it some thought. And I went to Alaska, and I remember either I had a dream or it was like a real deep conviction that I had that I need to get in contact with him. So I know he gave me his number, so I called him. And I told him when I come back to St. Louis, I feel led by God to join the ministry.
Okay.
He said, well, I got an open door for you. So that's how I met David Taylor.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that was back in 1997, the end of 1997.
Okay.
I stayed there until 2004, January 6, 2004.
Okay. All right, now go ahead. Tell me about this guy. Tell me about this church. And in the deposition, man, he has a almost $3 million mansion that he claims is a resort. He has a Bentley that he stretched as a limo. Tell me, and he got 6,000 to Louis Vuitton. This preach is unreal. But tell me, go ahead, tell me about the story.
9th, 2013, JMMI paid.
Well, okay, one thing I want you to understand that there's two different stories.
Okay.
You know, and actually there's like three different stories.
All right.
Okay. The story that most people, that's on the forefront of people's minds right now is the false Super Bowl prophecy that he did.
Oh,
And
okay.
the second is and the biggest is the deposition.
Okay. Yeah.
But David does his best to hide what he did here in St. Louis. Okay.
Okay.
He left so much destruction here in St. Louis. He slept with at least 13 women. As of today, I found out there was another woman. He slept with at least 14 women in the church.
Wow.
His ministry here that he got caught with. We don't know how many people he actually slept with.
Right.
But he slept with 14 women. One of them he got pregnant, so he has a baby out of wedlock.
Oh,
okay?
Wow.
And that's documented evidence. Okay, and that baby that he gave up, that he had out of wedlock, he actually gave up the parental rights to the child.
Oh, gotcha,
okay?
gotcha.
So just to cover his tracks of sin.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
to regress and go back to the situation of like when he first came to St. Louis. Let's deal with that a little bit. David, like I said, he came from Memphis to St. Louis to do a 3-day revival. The revival turned into a movement, so it lasted for a year plus.
Okay.
And like I said, people were coming in from all over the country, definitely all over the city.
Yeah.
Okay. And in that church, I believe it's called Full Gospel Church.
Yeah.
And the pastor there was his name was Pastor Evans, real good man. Okay.
Okay.
And there was a young lady in the church who was engaged to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, David liked her, and he manipulated her into sleeping with him.
Oh, wow.
Well, oh yeah. So they had a baby. She got pregnant.
Okay.
So to cover up the fact that she, that he got her pregnant, he said, "You need to get rid of your fiance and marry me."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is what happened.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
$30,000 in clothes? Jeez, this guy. Okay, go ahead. I'm reading.
So if you look, like this, I'm quite sure this stuff can be documented. If you look at the date on his marriage certificate, and the date on his daughter's birth certificate, you'll see that they don't add up.
Okay.
In the sense of him getting married and then she gets pregnant, the way people are supposed to do it. You see that the baby was born out of wedlock.
Okay.
But he tried to cover that up.
Oh, he tried to cover that up. Okay.
Yes. So that's his underlining character. He always tries to cover up stuff.
Okay.
Again, he slept with women in the church. The oldest woman, I think she was probably pushing 62, 63 years old. She was a mother in the church. And someone asked him, "What made you sleep with her?" And he said he was just curious because she was old. Okay. This guy has broken up, and for whatever reason, he didn't necessarily sleep with the single women in the church. He had a fetish for women that were married in the church.
Oh, wow. Okay? Yeah.
He broke up countless amounts of marriages. Some people still to this day haven't recovered from what happened back in 2000, from 97 all the way up to 2004.
Okay, dang.
Some people don't even want to go back to church. Some people, lost their husband, lost their wife, lost their businesses, lost their homes, lost their cars. He left people destitute.
Right.
Oh yeah, and then when you in ministry that long, because we used to work 17, 18 hours a day nonstop with no pay. He didn't feed us. it was slave labor, slave camp, and he's doing the same thing to the people in Detroit now as what he did here in St. Louis.
Oh wow! You know? Yeah, and Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
My biggest thing was the black community. Here it is. We don't have no food chains. We don't have any economic development, no jobs. And here it is. Some of these preachers are making millions. Millions. Here it is. This guy is sending $6,000 on just belts in Louis Vuitton, $30,000 in clothes, $1,000 in clothing in New York, $30,000 in Bahamas, and wow. Big
right.
3 million.
Unfortunately,
Go ahead, bro.
No, unfortunately, that's the name of the non-for-profit name. You know, you probably won't get them on that, but it looks bad in the court of public opinion, of course.
Right.
Okay? But I can tell you, like, you know, you're looking at what's going on in Detroit, but there's a whole level of nonsense that went on here in St. Louis. For instance, he came up with this fundraiser. It was called Jesus Sponsorship Ministry.
Okay.
And what it was, I don't know if you're familiar with like the Salvation Army, how they'll stand outside around Christmas time, and you know they ring the bell, and you can go in before you go in the store, come out, you drop $1 or whatever, a donation to the red kettle.
Right. Okay.
Well, what he did was we got our license in both St. Louis City and St. Louis County. And,
okay.
you know, we would go on the intersections, and we had these T-shirts that says, what would you do if you had cancer? And underneath that it said, would you want someone to help you?
Right.
And on the back, the T-shirt said, Jesus Sponsorship Ministries. And we had these canisters that said the same thing. What would you do if you had cancer? Would you want someone to help you? And they had this big dollar sign on it. So what would happen is, it's actually called toll rolling, but when a car, cars would stop at the intersection, let's just say it's 4 rows, and like 4 of us would go and take a row of cars, and we just ask, you know, would you like to make a donation? And people would donate $10, $50, $100, $1, $2, or whatever.
Right.
And some women in the ministry was making $1,000 a day. Some, women were better at it than men, of course.
Of course.
And, on average, some men would make maybe $200 a day. Nonetheless, we was making $30,000 a week doing that. And we did that in whatever the year the World Trade Center came down. I think that was 2000. And we did it in 2001.
Mm-hmm. Okay?
And we either raised $390,000 or we raised $490,000. I can't remember. I know specifically we was making $30,000 a week. Okay?
Wow. Yeah.
Now this scumbag, what he did was he the money was supposed to go for cancer.
Okay.
What he did, I don't know if you ever went to one of his crusades or looked at his television broadcast, but all of that television equipment that he has, that's what he bought with that money. It didn't go for cancer. And how he put the spin on it was he said, these cameras are medical equipment because we heal people through television. Spin on it. Oh yeah, that's how he spent that. All the camera equipment that we're using, it's medical equipment because through television or radio broadcast, all that media stuff, that's how people are being healed.
Oh, wow.
And I honestly believe if people knew that he was going to use that money for television equipment, they probably wouldn't have donated.
No, not at all.
Complete scam.
Complete scam. Absolutely.
And the wild part about it, it's not like he got out on the intersection and kind of got in the trenches with us. He would literally drive around in his white and gold Mercedes Benz and like check, to see who was making what and blah blah blah, like a pimp,
Yeah, right.
And I don't know if you know about St. Louis in the summertime.
Okay.
But we would get out there sometimes at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And we would stay all the way until 8:45 at night. Okay, that's when the sun goes down. Yeah. And in St. Louis, I know you heard Jay Quick on one song, Just Like Compton, where he was talking about how hot it was in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. Okay, it could be 100 degrees
Okay.
The humidity is unbearable. So we're out there all day long. Now, mind you, he only gave us $5 for lunch for the entire day. So that's what we had to deal with. Okay?
Yeah.
And then I remember, I think he felt some type of way as far as giving us $5 a day. So he said, okay, y'all need to just go buy, he had designated the person to go buy lunch meat and, water and stuff like that because it was cheaper.
Yeah.
And that's how we dealt with it.
How much?
But I could tell you a million stories about this guy, but they all summate to foolishness.
Foolishness, and it sounds like it. So I want to play some of this deposition for everyone. You listen to some of this deposition here.
13, there's over $6,000 worth of charges for the Disney Resort Hotel in Anaheim, California. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And did you go?
Yes, I was there.
Does JMMI pay any of your auto expenses?
Yes.
And how much?
Auto expenses, I wouldn't know exactly how much.
You don't know how much you get?
No.
Who
The
would
board
know?
takes care of that.
Who's the board?
You can ask Michelle. She's another person to refer to.
What about your housing? Does JMMI pay any of that?
Yes.
Do you get a housing allowance?
Yes.
And how much is that?
I'm not sure.
And do you report these allowances as compensation on your tax return?
Honestly, I don't know how all that work. I have
I don't know.
other people who do that, so you can refer to Michelle on that.
Michelle does your taxes?
No, I have other people do it, but she's over a lot of that, the financial aspect.
When you say it's up to the board, now the board includes...
Let me see. Look at this.
I don't see Macy's.
No, you don't see that, because Macy's don't have the kind of suits that I wear. But what I'm saying is, this Louis Vuitton things, you don't see that in our...
He only could wear Louis Vuitton.
13 and 14 has been over, GMMI has been over $30,000 in your clothes. That sound about right?
What year was that?
13 and 14.
Oh God, yes, because I was traveling so much and sweating through all my clothes.
I sweat through all my clothes. Don't you hate
It
when
wasn't
that happens?
enough.
You gotta spend $30,000 on clothes.
Just have so...
But they have to be top of the line expensive ones.
No, they're not top of the line clothes.
Louis Vuitton's not top of the line?
Those not where I get my suits from.
Well, you got something from them for spent thousands and thousands.
Well, the belts are more lasting.
$30,000.
That's good.
Come on, you're buying belts for $5,000?
No, I mean multiple belts. Not
August 2014, you went to the Gucci store in Troy and purchased something?
Yeah,
What
like
would
I
that
say, it probably was a belt or
Maybe a belt,
maybe
$5,000,
shoes.
$6,000
I don't
Belt
know.
or shoes?
But I don't usually buy my suits from these very expensive places. I just get the things that...
All right, so what is this residential center?
I can't believe people...
Oh, this is a place that the ministry owns. Well, not own, we're in the process of buying that. Yeah, we don't
So are
own
you
it yet.
renting to buy or? Okay, and what goes on at the residential center?
It is,
What do you think about the limousines?
yes.
What would that be for?
Well, this is for clothes concerning my TV ministry as well.
Or you have to wear Louis Vuitton?
Wait.
A resort where we teach.
Let me see. Let me get to the limo.
Clothes, I'm
part.
sweating through them.
Problem when you're ministering to the poor, the sick, the needy, to be appearing in Louis Vuitton and Versace?
Well, that ain't something I purchase all the time.
Well, it looks like you did several times in...
I mean, I'm sweating through all my...
Sweating through all your clothes.
Buy those things from there because they have...
Better TV appearance.
I have a question, just from you minister to the poor and the sick and all that. Isn't it a little offensive to be driving around in a Bentley and a Mercedes to people that really, are impoverished and sick and ill and AIDS and drug rehab? Isn't it a little offensive to sort of being show placing what you have?
Well, I don't show place to people, and I'm not in
Bentley.
that car. You don't see me driving around in that car every day. I don't do that.
But it's in the ministry. Everybody in the ministry sees you. You said you drive it.
I have before. You just asked me have I drove it, but it ain't something I drive every day or even every year. I don't do that. I have drivers who pick up my guests, my high-profile guests. No.
But do you see my point that people that are suffering and giving you whatever their last dime is and donations and
and you driving around in a Bentley.
and see you drive around your high-profile guests in a Bentley or Mercedes might be offensive and hurtful even.
It could be offensive if they didn't know my life, but they know my life. It would be offensive to someone like you who's trying to make it bad, but
So it's important you have a Bentley.
It ain't really important. That don't make me.
Then you also have a Land Rover that you lease.
Land Rover.
Range Rover.
Range Rover.
Yes, it's not a Land Rover. It's a Range Rover.
Which is the better one? I don't even know.
I don't know. Just cars, that's all.
Just
All right, then there's a series of documents that total almost $50,000 to Limo land in 2013 and 14. We have to answer yes and
Yes,
Okay. Okay, what was that for?
That was to cut the Mercedes into a limo.
Cut his Mercedes into a limo. How many cars you got, buddy? Wow, bro, Larry, you want to expand on this guy, man?
I'm sorry?
You want to expand on this? This guy had to cut his Mercedes into a limo. Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
that's not the first time he did that, though.
Oh, that's not the first time. Oh, how many times?
It's like most people didn't catch the footnote. He said, he actually said he had two limos, Mercedes limos.
Two Mercedes limos.
Because I remember like when the ministry broke up down here, that was back in 2004. There was a wealthy businessman who owns a pretty influential company who bought him a white and gold Mercedes Benz, and then somehow, I know after that, he ended up getting another Mercedes, and they stretched it out to a limo.
Come on, people. What?
That was back in 2004.
Oh, wow. Ain't no way I'm donating to any church in the past to pull up in a Bentley, a stretch Mercedes.
But, yeah, and to even add to that, even back then, he actually had three Mercedes, and all of them were white. From what I remember.
Three?
I remember he had a Mercedes Jeep. And then I remember we were on our way. It was right around 9/11. I'll never forget that. His wife he bought her one. I know Bentley had it for maybe 2 weeks. And she had a black one. And then they had bought him that sedan Mercedes, white and gold. And I know about the limo after the fact the ministry had broke up.
Wow, wow.
So, like I say, it's a whole new different story here in St. Louis.
Wow.
Can I say something else to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. First of all, he has a lot of different ethnic groups in his ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And on the deposition, he gives very vague answers about where he does business, where the church office is, where he lives, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Well, the ministry office was on the 4100 block of Patterson.
Okay.
That was in Florissant, Missouri, which is St. Louis County, and the zip code was 63031.
Okay.
On a street called Patterson and Weehawken. And it was in like a little strip mall, and the strip mall was like an L shape. Okay, or the building was an L shape.
Okay.
And I believe we were like 4138. You Google that or whatever, but what it was two storefronts that we would rent.
Okay.
One side, it was the ministry office for Resurrection Media Ministries and all the other different things that we did.
Right.
And we held church service, like Bible class in there also. We only had one side at first, and we started making all that money doing Jesus sponsorship, and he put a lot of money into that also, technically. So it didn't go for cancer at all. Okay?
Oh, wow, yeah.
With this, there was a woman who came from another country, and she married this wealthy businessman here in St. Louis who also was a part of the ministry.
Okay.
And he seduced this woman. Okay. And he literally told her that, if she sleeps with him and continues to sleep with him, he's going to give her authority in the ministry, which he did. And if you do your research about the ministry that he had in St. Louis, it was only women in authority. Like right now, Michelle is in authority, so you can kind of draw the correlation to what I'm saying. He only put women up because the women are the ones that he was sleeping with, and he would degrade the men so bad. You know what I mean? In front of their wives. Okay.
Oh, not his first Mercedes limo. Okay, I got it. Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wait, go ahead. I'm just reading what's on the screen. Go ahead, bro.
Okay. So, we would also do these crusades at these different hotels. It's just the same thing as what he does now. But I remember this one particular night. Let me even go back. David always prophesied in church services, and he also prophesied in, the crusades that a millionaire is going to, bless him with the Mercedes Benz because he had this dream, blah, 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 blah. And I honestly think that he said it so much to where the millionaire in our ministry just felt pressured to just go ahead and do it, and maybe he even had an extra conversation with the guy, but nonetheless, the guy ended up buying him the white and gold Mercedes Benz. It was a 2001, 2002, or whatever. It was brand new. I know that much.
Okay.
Plus, it had a kid on it.
Yeah.
So, now, I don't want to take my time for the story because it's very important. Okay.
Yeah.
We were at a crusade, and after the crusade, that woman who was married to this millionaire.
Okay.
Her, David Taylor, they disappeared. They went out to a place in St. Louis County where black people don't go.
Okay.
Not to even be. I remember the last time I went out there, like I say, I got a ticket, but black people just don't hang out in this place. So they take the Mercedes out there, they park, and they start having sex. Okay? Butt naked.
What?
Police, oh yeah. Police, true story. Police pulls up on them.
Okay.
And on the window, and he says, "What are y'all doing out here?"
Yeah.
Oh, who are you? And just like the deposition. Oh, I'm Apostle David Taylor, and we just had church service. I dare tell police that. I just had church service and this. Okay, let me see your license and registration. And ma'am, who are you? I'm Sister so and so. Okay.
Right.
And he's looking at the paper, the title of the car and all, whatever, And then the officer said, "Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you are a pastor?"
Pastor.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I'm a pastor. And you just left a church service. And you mean to tell me her husband is at the church service packing up while you got his wife out here having sex with her?
Oh.
Plus, this man's name is on this car.
Oh.
You understand where I'm coming from? The police said, they told us, they said, "I'm giving y'all 2 minutes to put your clothes on. Other than that, I'm locking both of y'all up." And they said, that was the first time that this whole situation should have been exposed.
Oh, this guy. It gets better and better with this guy.
That's not even half of 1%. I mean, it's thousands of stories like this. Like I can't even make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up. See, that deposition, like I say, it gives you a telescopic view. It's so vague. You know what I mean? But like I said, I know him personally.
You know him
The
personally.
office was it. I know him. Like I can deal with him from a microscopic view. I can tell you the details and the magnified stuff. Like every time he says, "Ask Michelle," no, you don't have to ask Michelle. You can ask me. I can tell you the address of the ministry office. I can tell you the zip code. I can tell you where you live. You know, all that vague stuff that was done on purpose.
Yeah, I see.
You know what I mean? That was stonewalling. Stuff was done on purpose.
Wow.
I mean, I can tell you about the beatings. I'm telling you, man. This story goes deep.
The beatings.
This story goes deep. Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah. This is getting good. This guy, it gets better and better with this guy. So tell me about the beatings. Who was he beating? Who beating? Who?
Okay. I'll give you an example.
Right.
One day, I can't remember what the situation was. He you know, like if you look at listen to the deposition, and he tries to twist fiction into fact, so to speak, take a text out of context and make it a pretext by saying, you know, it's a ministry house. First he said it's his house, and then he waters it and dumbs it down to a residential center.
Right.
See, he does that for tax purpose, 501c3 purpose, because you can get away with that type of
Right.
language. You know, but you know what I'm saying? That's how he pussyfoots around, you know, an issue. Okay? So, and that's the 501c game being, you know, tax exempt. That's the name of that game. And he plays it very well, you know. But, you know, he has a condo out in Florissant. It's off of Lucier and Parker Road. The zip code to that is like 63031. And he gives the actual address in the deposition.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
It's a condo. It's a 2-bedroom condo, upstairs and downstairs. And downstairs is where we would have Bible classes. So that's what he's talking about. It's a place where we do teaching, or it's just a bigger place of his condo. Okay.
Right.
But we would also do all of our ministry work, because that's when we started off at, you know, in that office. So he didn't have a home base. Before we got the storefront, everything was done out of there, and then we would do crusades at hotels. So that's kind of the structure of his business. Okay.
Okay.
But being over his house so much, you know, because he would be upstairs, his wife would be upstairs, and you know, it'd be like 10 people in the house. You know, we all doing work, going to the radio station, doing the television broadcast, all of this, you know, ministry work.
Yeah.
And just so happened one day, I don't know what it was, but one day I had to change his son's diaper.
Right.
Okay? I don't know what provoked that situation, but because I've never done that. And I remember when I changed his diaper, I pulled his, he was maybe like 2 or 3 years old. I remember I pulled his underwear down, but not his underwear, his pants and his diaper down. And I remember his butt was black, blue, purple, red. I mean, and it looked like leather.
Oh, wow.
Beating him so bad. And man, if you see the way David beat his kid back then, it was like, I was like, man, like, come on, man, don't take all that. He'd be like 7 minutes or seven minutes with the belt. So when he talks about the situation, it wasn't that he just whooped his daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I understand. It was to me, it was almost no different than flogging somebody, because those beatings was pretty bad. Okay.
Right.
And now I can see. I'm glad he got exposed for that, because that's a whole other nut to crack within itself. He used to beat his wife.
Oh, wow.
I can remember several times where he would rebuke her over, and David Taylor, he don't have private conversations with you. A lot of times, he likes to make an example out of you. So what he would do, I mean, he would poke you in the chest, poke you in the forehead, in the middle of a service, in the middle of Bible class, and rebuke you that way.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
he did that to his wife. other men who got that type of treatment. I remember there was this one gentleman. He wrote a book, or multiple books, and he's on the same publishing company, same publishing company as David Taylor. He used to be in the ministry. And this guy's a dreamer. Okay. He dreams dreams. He's very bright, so he knows how to interpret dreams, so he knows how to teach.
Okay.
And when he came to the ministry, before he came, first of all, he gave David Taylor his life savings. That's the first thing. His wife played the harp at all crusades. It just gave everything a real nice, elegant touch. But this man gave his whole life to being in that ministry. And I'll never forget, David, he doesn't like competition. So, people would come to him and say, I had this dream about so-and-so, so-and-so. And then the guy like, oh, okay, did he interpret the dream? Well, David got jealous of this guy. And he started telling people, stop listening to him. He ain't authorized to, by God to do this. His dreams be off, this, that, and the other. That's just how he is. He don't like anybody. He don't like any of the women going to another man for anything. Okay? That's just how he operates.
Right.
So I can remember at the ministry office over on Patterson Road in Florissant.
Yeah.
When you first walked in the building, there was a reception area. Then there was a bunch of cubicles, maybe like 10 or 12 cubicles, and there was a door, and it led to like a stock area, and the restroom was behind the stock area.
Right.
And all the men, it was about 13 of us, we were in this back room, and he had this guy pinned up against the wall, and I mean, he had him by the collar, and he was just slamming him against the wall, and he was like, I'll punch you. I'll do you like Smith Wigglesworth did, blah, 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 and the guy was terrified. If you've seen this guy don't have no, I mean, he is almost like somebody trying to fight Opie, you know what I mean, from Mayberry or something. It's just like, man, you don't get no brownie points. This guy he ain't got no thug in him. This guy's meek, he's humble, like, and he snatching the man up, slamming him up against the thing. And he kicked him out the ministry that night, and his wife already left. She had like a breakdown from being under David Taylor. He called her Jezebel and all that stuff, and she was gonna die. That's his thing too. So he told all the men to get that guy out of there.
Right.
And I remember they were walking him to his car, and he looked at me, because me and him was pretty close. He said, Larry, help me, please help me.
So how many people was in this ministry that went to this mega church? This was the one in St. Louis, right?
No, it's not a mega church. Listen, it's not a mega church. How David operates, okay? I want you to understand this. It's a 2-bedroom condo.
Oh.
First we started off in a pastor's house.
Okay.
The pastor, I think he lost his house because David wasn't helping him pay the bills, and then David got his own condo, okay? And I think he let that pastor live with him. And I think the pastor even lost his church living with David Taylor, and nonetheless, we would have Bible classes at David's house, okay? He didn't have an in-reach ministry at the time. He had outreach. So what I mean by outreach, we would rent out hotels, like the Renaissance Hotel, the Hilton Hotel, and we would rent out ballrooms. And then he would implore people to come from the radio broadcast, and we were on television every day. So he would, it's the same way he's doing it now. But, we didn't have a stable place. We would just, take $10,000 and rent out 3 ballrooms. And then set up like that.
Oh, so he didn't have it. He's getting all these millions. He doesn't have a mega church?
No, there's no mega church at all. He makes more money being mobile.
Oh, okay. Says he's a Christian apostle. Says he talks to Jesus on a regular basis, huh? Crusade founder.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
After Jesus told him to help
I can tell you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm just reading this. He has regular face-to-face meetings with the Lord. So he's got to look good. Ha! Over $6,000 to Louis Vuitton. $3,500 to Versace in the Bahamas. 14 spent $30,000 in clothes. Because he says he travels too much.
Yeah. Unfortunately, all of those are like secondary issues. You know what I mean? I get calls from people in his ministry every single week wanting to escape his ministry.
Oh,
because
wow.
of the treatment that he gives you.
Right.
You know, he keeps you sleep deprived. I remember here in St. Louis, there was a guy, it was a couple of guys. David gave them a few checks to go out of town to go pick up some stuff for our crusade, okay, some equipment or what have you.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were driving on the road and he fell asleep behind the wheel. The car flipped over multiple times, okay, because the guy was sleep deprived.
Right.
They called back and said, hey, the car flipped over, we kind of hurt, blah, blah, blah. Dave Taylor literally told them, you know, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going because you can't make no excuses in the kingdom. You got to get that, you got to fulfill your mission. He don't care. The guy, the only thing he cared about is lying in his pocket, and you know, that's pretty much it.
Okay, give me 1 second, bro. Hold on 1 second. Let me take this call real quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey. Yeah, this is Donald from My Life in the Shot. Who's this? Hello? One of you guys called in. I can't hear you. Whoever just called in. Hello? Okay, Larry, go ahead. Larry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yeah. But that's his only concern. That's his only concern. He appears one way, but trust me, he's completely a different person.
Oh, wow. No, it doesn't.
A different person.
You know what? My thing is that, you know, in the black community, here it is, we giving pastors millions, Creflo Dollar with a private $92 million jet, and we don't have any grocery stores, food chains, our children killing each other. It's just insane that on every street corner we have a church and no businesses.
Right.
You know, and here it is, some of these pastors are driving Bentleys. Bentleys.
Yeah.
And the poor are giving their hard dollars, donating to some of these pastors, and they pull up in a stretch Mercedes, not one, but two of them. And living in three...
You know,
go ahead.
Well, you know how that whole deposition came about, don't you?
No, what?
Okay, let me explain this. And I just got off the phone with her husband. Okay, there's a guy, his name is, you probably want to interview him also. His name is Rick Frazier.
Okay.
He's a wealthy Jewish man. Okay, very, very wealthy.
Okay.
And he, you know, was married to Deborah Frazier, who you hear that name tossed around in that deposition.
Okay.
And I can't remember the exact order of it, but I know they ended up getting divorced. And as a pardon, gift or whatever, he gave his wife $1 million.
Oh, wow.
Whether you want to call it alimony or whatever, but she was ordered to stay away from David Taylor's ministry. Okay?
Yeah.
Not only did she go to the ministry, she gave David Taylor that entire $1 million. So that's why that deposition.
She gave him $1 million? $1
million.
I am in the wrong business. I need to start.
Oh yeah. So look at this. So Mr. Frazier was pretty upset about this because she ended up homeless, and David got this big house. She ended up on the streets, and David refused to help her after she gave him $1 million. Yes. So Mr. Frazier went to David and said, "Hey, listen, man. Can you give her the money back?" David told him no.
I bet.
Okay.
I bet he
said,
did.
well, okay, I tell you what, let's be fair. He said, why don't you just give her a tenth of that money back? Which would, so he must have he gave her 100. She must have gave him 1.3 million.
Okay.
And because he asked for a tenth back, which is $130,000.
Okay.
David said he's not giving her nothing.
I bet.
He said, is this the way you want to roll? And that's when he said, okay. And that's where the deposition comes from.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't, but it just so happened that exposed him. Because he been getting away with stuff. He's been getting away with stuff for a long time. A long time. I thought I was going crazy because I'm like, how is this guy constantly growing like this? You know, people constantly donating. I'm like, but he left all of these people homeless down here, marriages broken up, people back partying, back snorting cocaine. People. What? I mean, people don't want to talk to God no more. And he just went on with his, wiped his mouth and went on. Wearing suits and Louis Vuitton, this, and got him like, how? I literally was asking God, like, how does this guy keep getting away with this stuff? And, I kind of put David Taylor way off my mind. I remember one day, I think it was in 2004, something came up on my Facebook page with this picture on it. It was talking about a Super Bowl prophecy.
Yeah, okay. So tell me about the Super Bowl prophecy.
And then I literally heard God's voice saying, because I always thought like he was going to be taking down adultery, that was going to be the big scandal or whatever. But a Super Bowl prophecy, and then God spoke to me. He said, he takes the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. Something as stupid as a false Super Bowl prophecy is what put the toothpaste back in the tube for David Taylor.
Right.
And then shortly after that, the deposition happened. So now he's exposed.
Right.
Now like with all the videos that I've been doing lately, like I say, I'm really, really ready to pull the trigger and just give everybody the dirty details of who this guy really is.
I see, absolutely. So now I want everybody to know your YouTube channel so they could go watch it. In fact, I could put a link to yours under my video so everybody can watch, because you did 3 videos yesterday about David E. Taylor, and everybody can watch that. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine, perfectly fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna put 3 links in this description box for you guys to go watch Larry's videos that he did on David E. Taylor, explaining what went on and what's going on. I want you to subscribe to his channel and watch everything that's going on, so everybody can see a link to the videos. Larry, man, bro, thanks for coming on, man. I'm glad you was able to tell your story, man, because on my channel, I talk about the black community and issues in the black community, and why are we losing? Why, especially in Chicago, why are our children killing each other? We don't have any businesses. We can't send our children to go get a job. And here it is, we got church on every corner, and we got preachers. The dollar in the black community only lasts 7 hours. And one of the reasons why, as soon as we go to church, we get paid Friday, we go to church Sunday, give our tithes, they're driving Bentleys, they move out of the community. And they're living in mansions, driving Bentleys, while we are struggling and poor.
Right. That's right.
Yep. Anyway, man, thanks a lot for coming on. Thank you guys for joining. Make sure you like, comment, share this video. Let me know what you think. Peace.